Alabama finally hit the transfer portal. We're going to talk about the new tight end and the possibilities of adding maybe some offensive line depth, maybe somebody on the defensive line, maybe a punter, and how the transfer portal has changed the way that college football is conducted during the offseason. The NFL drafts tonight. We're going to talk about a couple of the guys, including Tyler Booker, maybe one of the greatest offensive linemen that Bama's ever had. So Shank and I are going to be here. But first, let me play this open and tell you guys thank you for hanging out. Well, this show's brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Roll Tide. Let's go. All right, there he is, Alphonse Taylor. We know him as Shank. I'm Mick Gillespie. You guys know me as Mick. Great to see you today, Shank, and lots to talk about. Bama finally hit that transfer portal in the spring, and they get a tight end, Jack Samarco out of West Virginia, a blocking tight end. He caught one pass last year, but played in 13 games.
Okay. Hey, I'll take it, but I mean, don't bring a blocking tight end just for us to pass the ball 60 times a game again. All right. All right, like we don't need more guys to add to the pass pro. We need more guys to add to the run game. Let's control the line of scrimmage, turn around, hand it off to our running back, and let's get a good run game going, man. We bringing in guys that can block. I love it. I love it. Hopefully, that's a good sign of things to come, and we'll see where they go with it.
What did you think about like tight ends like that? And even our friend Baron Huber was a fullback that would come in and block a lot. You being on the offensive line. When you know that a guy's probably not going to do a whole lot of catching from that tight end spot, just adding another piece for you guys when you want to run or, like you said, when you want to pass.
Hey, man, us big guys, we like to get our hands on the guys up front and hold on for dear life, right? And then you get those fullbacks, they're the more athletic, like heat-seeking missile guys. Your insert guys, those linebackers that like to come from depth and they can move a little faster than us. Here come those wings, those fullback body, tight end type guys, right? Get them out on the edge. And you got to think, every run game we've had in Bama history, we've had a pretty good wing, tight end, body kind of guy that can get in and block. And every time I think of that fullback, I think of like Nice Wander,
Yeah.
Justin Fowler, those type of guys. Um, you got to have it, man. You got to have it. You want an efficient run game. You want to be able to control the clock. We got to be able to take care of the guys in the box, and having a good fullback, tight end type guy helps us do that.
You played with Derrick Henry, so you blocked for a Heisman Trophy winner. I don't know how many people can say that. Plus, you're on a championship team. When you guys got that run game going, what did that feel like for the offensive line? And, how do you translate that into adding a guy that's 6'5", 255 at the tight end position?
Hey, man, when you get the run game going, anything is possible. At that point, you're basically having your way. It opens up the entire playbook to call whatever you want to call, right? And I think that's why we were so effective as an offense in 2015, because you had Coker who could get the ball down the field, and we had a very good O-line that year, and obviously we had Derrick Henry back there and a Heisman winner, and we were able to control the game, control the line of scrimmage, control the clock, and just have things our way. And when you're able to impose your will on people like that, the outcome is always going to be better in your favor, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. That's the MO I want us to get back to. Hard-nosed, run game first team who can also get the ball down the field when you think you need to add more guys to the box to stop the run.
When you look at the way that the transfer portal is right now, where, it's like you almost feel like Bama's not doing a whole lot in the portal because they want it to close before they go start signing guys, just because they don't want to go sign somebody and then another guy transfers out on their end.
Right.
It's so weird. And then you being a high school football coach, you're around a lot of great athletes, whether they be on your team or on other teams. But what's your thoughts on the transfer portal? And if you were, counseling a young player, what advice would you give him?
Oh man, the transfer portal is a tricky thing right now, man. Like I think it's a double-edged sword for guys because, guys are jumping in the portal in hopes of making more money elsewhere, and then they're having to realize that they're not as good as they thought they were, right? Or there's somebody just as good as you that's willing to take a whole lot less more money than you to go play football. And so that's the biggest thing, man. This welcome to reality moment a lot of guys are having to have when it comes to the transfer portal. And me as a high school coach, man, I understand how the portal is affecting high school guys. Because why would you come look for a project, a freshman project, when you can go get a JUCO guy or go get a transferring D1 guy, D2 guy that's already pretty polished and coached up and ready to go right now, right? And so the biggest thing with the transfer portal, it kind of killed that developmental phase of football. You don't really see that anymore. If guys aren't playing right now, that look, they're getting out of there. They're not sitting and trying to wait behind guys anymore. They're trying to get out and go right now, which understandably so. If the rules are to your favor and you can put yourself in a better position and you feel like give yourself a better opportunity to play ball, then you do that. But that's just the nature of the beast now.
When you played, though, like kind of the way that Nick Saban did things was that he had a lot of depth all the way through the roster. You have to wait your turn to play. You had to win in practice. Would you have transferred? Would you have considered that in your day, or would, if it was set up like it is now, or would you have just done it the same way that it worked out?
And so I mean, I considered transferring when I was at Bama, and that's 2015. I considered getting up out of there and seeing what I could do elsewhere. But I just had people around me that helped me make better decisions, and ultimately I decided to stick with it, and it's probably one of the best decisions I ever made for my life, right? Um, and so, but given the way things are now, I can't say that decision would have been the same. Um, Especially knowing the type of player I was. It wasn't really too much finesse about me. I was a good run blocker, and I think I could have fared well anywhere else if I made it at Bama, right? And so I'd definitely be ready to transfer out, because leaving a school like Alabama, that's going to raise a lot of people's ears, and they want to see what you're talking about, because Bama's a prestigious university, and so if they're losing a player, let's go see what this guy's talking about, right?
Yeah.
And let's just throw money at him. Let's throw it at the wall and hopes it sticks, and you go from there. And so I would definitely uh, try my luck in free agency.
It would be hard not to, you know,
Absolutely,
because
absolutely.
part of what makes your value, and I hate to say this, but unfortunately for you guys, I took economics at Alabama. I was pretty good at it. Not that I'm a genius, but a lot of it's common
Uh,
sense.
uh,
You go in the portal and then everybody's trying to buy you. Your
right,
values, your monetary value is going to be a lot higher than if you stay where you're at, right?
absolutely. You would think so. You would think so. I mean, especially in today's climate. Like I said, what they're paying guys to play now. I mean, coming from a university like Alabama, that's guaranteed money right there.
Right.
Uh, you
Yeah.
know, you don't have to play it down. You could probably send in practice tape. And think about it. I'd be sending in practice tape from 2015 against guys like Jan Reed, Jonathan
Yeah.
Allen.
Yeah. Right.
They'd be like, hell yeah, sign,
Yeah.
sign him up. And I think that'll be the same for any guy that's transferring at this level.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
why not try your luck?
Yeah. Well, so much of it now is like what the money is too. I mean, which that's another economic indicator. And that could change. I mean, I think they're going to eventually have some kind of revenue sharing where you just have like a certain amount of money to spread throughout the roster. But like it's so unbalanced because what Alabama has and what Vanderbilt has it's like two different things, right? I mean, when you're talking about $1 billion, who knows what they're making,
Right.
with their program. But if you balance it, I guess, by saying, hey, you got this much money to spend, then at least you have some competitive balance. But I don't feel like we have competitive balance. Maybe we never did, right? But when I look at Ohio State spending way more than everyone else, it's smart. You know, they had the best players,
Right.
but competitively, it's not like the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. You know, we probably should go to some type of cap system um, to even out the playing fields because, I mean, they probably don't want to hear that from us though, because you know how that goes.
Yeah,
Alabama's
right.
been on top, spending so much money so long.
Yeah.
Now that everybody else is doing it, we want to cry, right? You know, it's just. I mean, not necessarily. It's just like, all right, congrats, bro. You spent more money than us. You know, you
Yeah,
you
right.
broke the bank this year. It's just like cool, and it's crazy enough. But like I said, the SEC was nuts this year.
Yeah.
Like I thought the SEC was the most competitive this year than it's been in a long time.
Yeah. Well, because the bottom teams were good. Like Vanderbilt was legitimately good. I think the only bad team was Mississippi State. Everybody else could beat you and had big wins. I mean, look, Kentucky beat Ole Miss. You know, we lost to Vandy. You turn around and it's like, God, everybody, like it's South Carolina was a tussle.
Yeah,
Missouri was a
yeah,
hard team to play.
yeah. But that's what I wanted from the NIL though. From that aspect, I feel like it balanced out college football a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so we need to figure out how to like control the chaos when it hits the top end, right?
Yeah.
And that's when we need to find some legislation. Like guys can't be getting 2 million playing a year. I'm just like, all right, I'm going. And
Yeah.
it's just
Like
like,
Nico.
yeah,
He found out the hard way, though.
that's crazy. And his brother's transferring there with him. You seen that?
No, he is not, is
Yeah,
he?
his little brother's transferring from Arkansas to UCLA as well. So I told you last show. I bet you they wanted to get closer to home. Now look at that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
I'm
No,
like, come on,
maybe
man.
they'll get some guys to show up to UCLA because they were kind of a doormat. But I like their coaching. You know, I mean, they're going to have to do something because that Big Ten, a lot of money being spent right now. Michigan and Ohio State are in an arms race. Oregon's got a ton of money, so they're going to
Yeah.
be good.
No amount of
Penn
money
State,
spent is gonna make me check for UCLA though.
no,
And
no.
so, yeah. Yeah, and let's keep it a buck. The last time I thought about UCLA was what? Who was the guy that was Roseman? Was that his name?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Hear of that.
I think that's the last time anybody even cared about UCLA.
God, when I was in school, Bama played them and lost to them. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Jesus, Mick, you
I know
you you
it's been a
couldn't beat
minute.
you couldn't beat that information out of me. I would have took that one to the grave.
we Freddie Millens, I think he took the kickoff back, and we were all like, yeah, we're back. We're like ranked third, and and they like won 3 games that year. Everybody got fired. You talk about the wheels falling off, man. Just oh my goodness, they fell off. That was a tough year. And then I honestly like it was crazy when Saban showed up and kind of just made things so consistent, like where
Yeah,
and we talk about that a lot on here, just the way that he was able to handle success. I heard Lane Kiffin talking about that, basically like being harder when you win than you lose so that
yeah.
you're not complacent, right? And you avoid the complacency. You coach football. I mean, is that something that you have had to deal with too?
Nah, I haven't won enough
You're
as a
not there
coach
yet.
to get complacent yet, and so
Soon,
we,
though.
we still working on that.
You're the team that's going to take advantage of that complacency.
Hey, yeah, yeah, that's right, that's right. I'm the coach right now. That's telling my guys like, hey, nobody's looking for you right now. Nobody expects much from you right now.
Right.
That's the perfect time to take it all from them,
Yeah.
and
No,
pull the
that's
rug
true.
from up under them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but
Being kind of the hunter instead of the hunted. I look at I mess with Coker, probably the one, I always try to get under his skin, but the one thing that kind of does dig in there a little bit is when I talk about how they have the how much money he might have made in NIL if he was if it was like it is now. and then and then the other thing, which is terrible for you too, is that they're make this lawsuit. They're going to pay 10 years back. Well, I mean, you guys are like right on the bubble of that. Like, I don't know how you can't just go all the way back. How do they have a 10-year period and not 11 or not 12, with the
I don't
video
know.
game?
The 10-year period works for me. I
It
finished my
does?
master's in 16.
Oh, nice. So you're
Yeah,
going to get
sucks
some
for
of that
coconut.
cash? Give everybody like 300 bucks.
I'll take it, man. Take my girls out. I just went summer clothes shopping for them today, and Jesus,
Yeah, yeah,
it
expensive.
just it just makes me want to fight everybody. It'd be like, you gonna shoot for another one? You gonna shoot for a boy? And just be like, just tell me you don't like me already, okay? I got look
What do
crazy.
you think your NIL worth would be if it was like the way that it's set up now? I know you thought about this.
Mm, mm. I have thought about it, and I've thought about like all the things that go into it because that 2015 year was like really special when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
How Derrick Henry wins the Heisman.
Mm-hmm.
The offensive line unit wins the Joe Moore Award,
Mm-hmm.
and so that package alone, I feel like the Heisman House will have to do like some type of package commercial deal with us and Derek, right? That's a whole contract in itself. Like I would be happy with just that endorsement deal alone, right?
What about Dr. Pepper though?
Hey, come on, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm with that. I love those commercials. I'm thinking an IHOP type deal.
Yeah,
Pancake of the week, that type deal. Like, and we were road graders, man. We were doing people bad. We were
yeah,
doing people bad. Like the guys I played with were just they were mean.
yeah.
They were mean. Like you'd meet them during the day, you think they're the nicest guys, but absolute maniacs. And
Talking
I
about
mean, I can't even put a number on it, honestly.
right. Yeah.
It's
It'd been
just
fun to
like
figure it out though, wouldn't it?
because we'd have to start like, yeah,
Like
it
for
would be
real. Like
fun.
not just talking about like somebody's just gonna
I don't know,
slide
man.
you in like 300 grand, Like here's like Coker probably would have made $2 million, I bet. I don't
Easy.
think that's exaggeration, man. Starting quarterback like him, maybe a million and a half. That's life
I,
changing money in a
I would have
way.
definitely needed an agent or something because I would have been happy with like 300,000 or something like that. Be
Right,
like,
right,
hey,
right.
three, you giving me what? All this at one time?
Yeah.
Hey, you got me. You got me.
And different than like when we were in college and like you're just like eating ramen noodles and you know what I mean? Like we used to do these things called hookups. It was like, those things where you take the
Nah,
ramen
nah.
noodles and you put like jelly in there or like an egg. It's like poor.
Oh,
It was like that was
y'all,
college for me for a few
yeah,
years.
y'all were eating like prisoners. Y'all,
You know what I'm saying?
nah, y'all grinding. Y'all grinding. Y'all were eating like prisoners. That is insane.
Some cheese, like a little piece of cheese in the noodles, salt and
Hey,
pepper.
hey, I thank God every day for Miss Amy. Miss Amy was my nutritionist while we were at Bama. I didn't have to eat like that. Thanks to her. So Miss Amy, if you ever come across this, you're highly appreciated.
Yeah,
I
that was
love
what
you.
Saban brought, man. Saban brought the nutritionist.
Yeah,
I heard people say it was better at Alabama than it was in the NFL.
I believe it. Look, when I got to school, I started at Bama. I was 425, and I got down to 335 was my playing weight. And just like that's a lot of that is due to Miss Amy. Like she took me to the grocery store herself, like showed me how to shop, showed me the things I needed to eat, things I didn't need to eat. And like and this stuff I still use today. So like if I ever want to go into a cut and I want to drop some weight, I'd be like, I tell my wife, like, all right, we gotta shop the perimeter. You can't have anything off the middle of our house. Like everything you need is on the perimeter, stay away from the middle. And she
Right.
just thought that was so funny. But that's the type of stuff Miss Amy taught me. Man, man, she was the best. She was the best.
Yeah, that's great. Well, let's talk about Tyler Booker. He's going to be drafted, I think, in the first round. You saw him at Alabama. He was, I'd say, easily my favorite player off of last year's team. I like that he stuck by us when guys were leaving. I always liked everything he said. He bled crimson and white, and
Yeah.
and then you hear about him in practice being the hardest worker, and then you see him in the games. Mike Johnson and I would do a show, and he raved about his technique, being in position, his footwork, his handwork. And now we lose him to the NFL. Your thoughts on him, and where do you think he's going to end up going? You think he'll be a first round pick?
I honestly think he should be a first round pick. And it sucks for us. We're losing a tremendous talent, man. And he held that spot down solid for a long time. And so to lose him now, I'm interested to see who they slide in there and see what we can get going up front. But I think he should be a first round pick, man. He proved it over and over again. He dominated in the run game. When given a chance, um, he was pretty good in pass pro. He gets overextended at times, but that happens in the SEC. It's a high level game. You go against some great defensive linemen. But at the end of the day, man, he's aggressive. He has heavy hands, great footwork. And once he gets his hands on you and gets you moving, he makes it a long day for you. And to lose that type of guy, those are big shoes to fill for the next guy coming in. And he was an anchor for the offense.
Right.
He was that leader type guy. He brought the energy. He brought that physical mentality. And so I absolutely wish him the best. And I think he should go in the first round. If I'm not mistaken, I seen one mock draft where he was going to the Texans.
Yeah.
I had him going first round to the Texans. And so hey, if I'm him, that'd be a great spot to land. You get a good QB behind you. You got a
Mm-hmm.
great defense. You get to go with your boy Will over there with the Texans. Cam
Yeah.
Robinson.
Yeah.
I'm just signed with the Texans. Got some Bama love there. And
Yeah.
so it'd be a good
D'Amico,
spot to land. Yeah,
head coach.
absolutely.
A lot of Bama at Texas,
A lot of Bama
with
blood
the
out there.
Texans. Yeah. When you were at Alabama, do you remember losing a talent like him, and then how do you replace somebody like that? And we've lost him. I mean, look, we've had some great offensive linemen over the years that
Yeah.
have left.
Um, I remember losing Ryan Kelly.
Oh yeah,
Ryan Kelly, like absolute animal of a center. Like just did some phenomenal stuff. Was quick as a cat, man. But luckily, we had a guy by the name of Bradley Bozeman step into his
yeah,
spot. So we just kind of lost one legend and got one to replace it. And so in that sense, nah, we didn't. It didn't hurt too much, man. And I'll say when I was at Bama, we reloaded pretty well.
yeah,
Like our depth was good because we had guys that bought in and guys that stayed and developed and waited their turn, right? And so I can't say there was at any point a position we lost. I mean, that 2015 QB battle kind of bothers me till this day because we should have went undefeated, but we're not gonna hold it against them. We
yeah,
should have gave Coker the nod right away. But other than that, that's all I got on
yeah,
that one,
yeah,
man. Ryan Kelly was a big one. Ryan
yeah,
Kelly.
yeah. I've heard nothing but great things about him. Now, the other, I guess this is the last thing on today's show, but people ask me, I've talked to Clint Lamb about it on Cover Crimson. I'll ask you the same thing. Where is Jalen Milroe going to end up in this draft?
Ugh. I don't. I honestly, I don't think he's a first round guy
Mm-hmm.
in this draft. There's a lot of talent in this draft. I mean, everybody's big on Cam Ward, Shador Sanders, and here lately I've been seeing Jackson Dart's draft stock shoot up. They're potentially saying he won't even fall below pick 9. So
Wow.
I think Milroe will be a second round guy, and that's okay. And mostly, I think that's due to kind of the season that we had. It's kind of a drop off to last season. But I think he has big arm talent. He can get the ball downfield. The NFL is a big play league, and I think he has big playability. Obviously, he fits the mold of that Lamar Jackson kind of guy.
Yeah.
Um, so, man, I can't even put a team on it.
Some
But
people think the Steelers, the Browns
That
need a
that was gonna be
quarterback.
my
Yeah.
first choice. I just seen the Steelers are moving pieces around. They haven't solidified a QB spot. Man, that experiments with Justin Fields makes it seem like they're trying to go in a different direction, go with a more athletic type guy, right? So I can see him with the Steelers for sure.
Yeah. I see him as a Lamar Jackson type. I think Lamar, though, came into the NFL with an understanding of what he does, meaning that I don't think that Lamar ever was like, hey, I'm going to be a pocket passer. And I'm a huge Ravens fan.
Right.
I didn't know that Lamar was going to be as good as it has been. I mean, he's got the passing down enough where he can keep you off. They're almost like an option NFL team. He's so fast. And then you get a run, with Derrick Henry, it was crazy how good that running attack could get you. And then, you have some guys you can throw to.
Right.
Mark Andrews, until he dropped all those balls in the playoff game. I think with Milroe, it feels like sometimes he wants to be a drop back guy, but I just don't think that's his strength to me, man. I think that the running the football is where his superpower is, and he's
Right.
better in some areas than Lamar is.
Yeah, I definitely think sometimes he plays a game to kind of prove that he can pass the ball, and it's just like, bro, you don't have to prove anything.
Mm-mm.
Like, if anybody, I'll look back at Jalen Hurts' career and just the things he did. Everybody ragged on him for not being the best passer, right? But he knew how to win.
Yep.
Like, he made big play after big play, and he always gave you a chance to win. Man, I just want to see more of that from Jalen Milroe. Like, just figure out how to win. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be in a pass game.
Yep.
You don't have to sit back and pat the ball in the pocket. You're one of the fastest, most athletic guys on the field. Use that to your advantage. Don't even think about it. Take off. All right. And if he can do that, I think he'll have a great NFL career. Because,
Yeah.
like I said, he's a very talented quarterback. He just needs to be true to what he is. He's a true dual threat guy, and that's okay.
Yep.
All right. You just
Yep.
got to win.
That's it. Well, Shank, always great hanging out. We'll do it again next week. Have an awesome weekend. You have a standing invite to join us at the Floribama Mullet Toss on Saturday.
Absolutely.
So hopefully we'll catch up with you there. But if not, we'll talk next week. And everybody else, don't forget a couple things I want to tell you. Bama Tailgate, pimp out your man cave like I've done with these great prints, including some that Shank was a part of, some championship Daniel Moore's, 20% off when you use that promo code Bama Tailgate at newlifeart.com. So when they say at the beginning, click, hey, I heard about it here. And then when you get to the promo code section, type in Bama Tailgate to get the discount. And then finally, Pearl River Resort will be over there sometime soon over in Philadelphia, Mississippi, hour and a half from Tuscaloosa. Got the sports book, the Timeout Sports Lounge, got the golf, Dancing Rabbit Golf Course with Augusta quality courses, the Oaks, the Azaleas, just a fantastic place. They've got everything you need, full bars, music, concerts, and all that stuff. Find out more at pearlriverresort.com. Have a great weekend to you, and roll Tide.